Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Primetime Poulton. I have moral compass Mark Poulton. With me today, two guests. We got Eric Watkins and Tommy Patterson, and they're here to talk about their new book, The Ballad of Al Snow and Head. Uh, Tommy, though, he has connections to me. He worked on the latest Graveyard Shift campaign. Speaking of which, in our last day, I'm going to pull it up real quick. We're so close to $112,000, only $90 away from that. 13 hours to go. At $125,000, we'll unlock the final stretch goal. I forgot what it is. Let's check it out real quick. There we go. Okay, at $125,000, all backers will receive a Kenneth Rocafort Lilith Visions cover poster folded, and that will be this image right here. Too hot for YouTube. We put the little black box on there so we won't get the stream taken down again. But yeah, hopefully 13 hours to go. I think we can hit it. But I want to thank everyone who has supported Graveyard Shift. I can't believe all the support we've gotten for it. Thanks so much. Tommy, you worked on the Runer story for the supplemental book. You and I, we go way back from the Rob Liefeld message board. John was part of those message boards too. Have you kept in touch with John all those years?
Off and on, sporadically. Once Twitter came around, the message board died out a bit. But I followed John on Twitter, and as soon as the whole Comicsgate thing happened in 2018, I guess is when it really took off. I just messaged John behind the scenes. I was like, "Hey, I'm not really drawing right now, but if you need any help, whatever it may be in any capacity, let me know." So
yeah, no, it was great that you could come in and help us finish up that Runer story. Matt Dalton is doing the inks for you for that supplemental story. I've seen some of the pages. I thought they came out fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. And I like Matt's inks. He puts extra in. I like
it. Yeah, Matt is my artist on my upcoming book, Viking Wolf, which I'm launching May 28th. Fantastic artist. All these years I knew him just as an inker, and I started seeing his commission work, and I was like, Matt, why aren't you doing interiors? And he goes, oh, I just like to ink. And I was like, I got to get you on something. You got to do a book with me. And he was like, nah, that's all right. I just want to ink. And I was like, yeah. I was like, no, I'm going to convince this guy to do a book with me. And luckily I was able to. So we're launching Viking Wolf May 28th. But yeah, I was happy that he was able to come in and help us out in a pinch to finish up that Runer story. I think everyone's going to be really happy with the artwork.
Yeah, I hope so. When John approached me about it, he's like, "Hey, I just need you to do breakdowns. Matt's going to take care of the rest."
Yeah,
I didn't really know Matt, but I had access to Rob Willis's art.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Well, man, if I do breakdowns on this, I don't know, Matt. You know what I mean?" So I got to compete with this. Rob's a lot of detail on the page, so I did a little bit more than breakdowns, and Matt definitely took it the rest of the way. So, I think it holds up side by side, and people won't be disappointed.
Yeah, so there's only 13 hours left if you haven't backed Graveyard Shift 3 yet. It's variant covers for volumes 3 as well as a supplemental book, which Tommy's work is going to be in. So make sure you check out the campaign. I want to spotlight the chat. We got Darren Wagner in the chat. He said, I missed my moral compass dose yesterday. Hopefully I'll get my fix today. Yesterday I was supposed to live stream, but the wife set me out on a mission. So I had to reschedule my live stream, but I forgot to reschedule it on StreamYard. So a lot of people were in the chat waiting for me. I apologize for that. We got Jamie East here. She says, here I go with the coffee. She needs a coffee and a maid just for today, though. She's always making such a mess. Just relax for the next hour, Jamie, and don't worry about that mess. That'll be there for you once we're done this. So we're here to talk about the Ballad of Al Snow and Head. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I do my other show, La Pod Gods, every Sunday, where Phil McNulty and I talk wrestling. Eric, Have you always been a wrestling fan?
Yeah, I got into it late 90s, SummerSlam 92, Mr. Perfect. That was
Nice.
my thing, and that was what got me going. And I kind of fell out of it a little bit, and then the Attitude Era pulled me right back in.
Yeah. I assume always a comic fan too. You were telling me earlier you run a convention,
Yeah,
and
I used to run the Tri-State Comic-Con in Huntington, West Virginia, which is now the Huntington Comic and Toy Convention. It's owned by Jared and Jamie Greer now, who also do the Lexington Comic and Toy Show. We sold it right before COVID had started, unplanned. We had just decided to get out of it the year before, and it just happened to coincide with right before COVID. Comic-wise, I didn't start reading comics until... Man, I want to say I was 23 or 24. So about 10 years, 12 years I've been reading them. A friend of mine I worked with took me to a local shop, and I read The Ultimates and then Planet Hulk, and I fell in love and I was done. So I got hooked right around that time.
Nice. And Tommy, you've pretty much been working in comics on and off, I think as long as I have. I started back in 2006. I remember you were trying to get your foot in. At one point, we were working together on a project that never happened with Marat Michaels.
Yeah. My the Liefeld message boards were really good. They were like my version of the digital webbing. That's where I made all my networking. Yeah, I networked with a lot of people there, and finally broke in 2008 through an art rep, Paolo Belfiore. And he got me a job at Boom, and been kind of steady ever since until 2016 happened. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't hide my political beliefs, and I don't know, blacklist is probably too strong of a word. I've been a little bit of a jerk in the past, so I probably deserve to be ran out for a while. So I took a full 2 years off of drawing. Like literally in 2 years, I drew one logo. And the rest, I was just doing a graphic design at a print shop.
Yeah.
But finally, I got the itch again, and I'm full on back in, hitting my stride again now. I feel pretty good.
That's awesome. I'm happy to have you back. We have Amanda B joining us. What's up, Amanda? So Eric, how did this project, the Ballad of Al Snow and Head, come to you?
So when I had started doing some wrestling promotions down in Huntington, West Virginia to coincide with the comic convention. And I had brought Al Snow in to work one of the shows. And when he showed up, he was wearing a Red Sun t-shirt. And so after the show was over, myself and Gavin Napier, who was the other promoter, were talking to him about the shirt. And come to find out, he's one of the biggest comic book nerds I think I've ever met in my life. So kind of kept that in my mind. And, as I went through my career doing comics 5, 6, 7 years later, I decided I was sitting trying to come up with something new. The pre-COVID, I was trying to come up with something to kind of throw a little bit bigger boom in the market. A lot of people had started doing some licensed product of wrestlers. And since I loved wrestling, I loved the kayfabe style of wrestling. So I wanted to do a book where everything that I could find was biopics. Everything was a biopic book. And I wanted to do something that wasn't like that. I wanted to do something that was kayfabe. And it just so happened that I remembered, well, heck, I know Al Snow. Like, let me reach out to him. So I reached out to him to see if he'd be interested in me using his character. And he told me, yeah. And so I went to Louisville and I sat down with him and we kind of talked about the whole thing and what I wanted to do. And he told me to go ahead. So I made the pitch, sent the story out to him. And when he liked it, we signed a contract to be able to use his likeness. And then we started the process on going and making the book. And the whole point that what he loved was the fact that it was kayfabe.
Yeah.
That it wasn't a biopic. It was something different. It was, you could believe that this is him doing this. And he came in with a really great idea. It was Al's idea, actually, to put the story inside his own head. So that way, because Al, for those that don't know Al Snow's character, he's crazy and he talks to a mannequin head. And so in the book, he literally, everything takes place inside his head. So we can literally reset this anytime we want because, nothing's off limits and there's nothing to hold us in. So I think what we put out was a really, really great book. It's a really funny story. And I think it's true to the wrestler himself. It's true to his character, but you don't have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy it per se.
Yeah, I think there's really been a resurgence of late with wrestling comic books. I know there's Headlocked by Michael Kingston. Our mutual friend Eric Hodson,
Yep.
he does the Killed It Avenger, Roddy Piper's comic book. I recently licensed the Mercenary Flip Gordon to include in my U.S. Assassin series. So and Sergeant Slaughter, of course. Sergeant Slaughter is back with the new Action Force comic book, and he kind of started it all, I think, with wrestlers and comic books with G.I. Joe. Tommy, were you ever a wrestling fan?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nerds are inclined to like all nerdy stuff. So when I was a kid, I loved this stuff. I was really into the Memphis wrestling, CWA, and then NWA, AWA, everything they showed on TBS, basically. Then that turned into WCW later on. I was into all that until '99. Then I got married and got a life. No, I'm just kidding.
Some of us were 10. So
yeah. So, right. But yeah, I mean, I still occasionally follow it. I'd like to watch it more. It's just I don't have time to watch it more. I hardly watch any television.
Yeah.
But if I could, wrestling would be, in the top 5 things I'd probably keep up with.
Yeah, no, I hardly watch any television at all anymore. I do make time for my wrestling fix. So, Tommy, when Eric approached you for this project, what were your initial thoughts?
I was thinking, well, I guess I should get drawing again because it was, at the end of my 2 years off. And, he was going to have a lax deadline, which is what I needed because I was working a day job at the time.
Yeah.
And I started working on it and other books with him. Yeah. And is actually our pirate book, Desecrated Cells, which is like 100-page.
Yeah, beautiful.
Let's go ahead and plug that right now.
Let's plug Desecrated Cells.
Yeah, so I got like 80 pages of that done, and I got like 15, 10 more to pencil, 20 to ink, something like that.
12. You have 12 to pencil and 27 to ink. That was the last count that I had.
Okay. And then he just came to me with the Al Snow book. He's like, hey, let's do this. Fit this in ahead of the pirate book. You can always go back and finish that. And I was like, okay. So I was working on the Al Snow book very slowly, slower than I wanted. And then COVID happened and I got laid off and was able to go full-time, in all the downtime there and, stockpile some work. So. Yeah.
Has there been any challenges for you drawing a celebrity? Basically, do the pencils have to be approved or anything like that? No.
He's very lenient. Yeah. See, whenever my first job was I was drawing Farscape for Boom.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and that was they wanted their likeness, right?
Yeah.
So, to be honest, new artist, it was a trial by fire. It helped me get better at drawing faces.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did Game of Thrones, and that wasn't a likeness book. As a matter of fact, they said we don't want it to look anything like the HBO show. So that was all designed from the ground up.
Yeah, and Al's been fantastic. The one thing with Al is Al has told me multiple times, as a creative guy himself, he's been in wrestling for 40 years. Now as a producer, as he runs OVW and a training school and a tech school for wrestlers. He told me that he trusted us. So when he's been the absolute greatest to start with a licensed product with Al Snow, we're spoiled because he's been the greatest simply because he literally just lets us do what we do. And if we tell him that this is the best way for it to happen, then he's been all for it and he's loved every bit of it. He's only overruled us on a couple things, and it was just little technical things that he wanted to make sure we got the exact details right.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's the best way to work when it's kind of hands off and they just let the creators create.
Yep.
Basically, same situation with licensing the mercenary character. Flip is pretty much just let me and Mike McMahon do our thing, and then I bring him, I show him the pages, and he just no pun intended flips for him. He just loves it so much. He says every email is like Christmas morning for him because he can't wait to see the new pages and stuff.
You'd think, that wrestling the way it is, the ratings are up and down with it, that they would maybe harness some outside talent. Wrestle, even independent wrestlers come and let writers and comic artists actually develop their character for them. So you got more built-in backstory, and then when you sign with whoever, you can bring all that with you.
No, I've actually WWE once they put out an ad for they were looking for artists to come up with basically character designs. One of my friends tried to get me in on that, but it didn't work out. We got CG Metalsmith in the house. Thanks for joining us today. We're talking the Ballad of Al Snow in Head. I'm going to bring up the campaign page. So there's 4 days to go in the campaign. Should I play the video?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
Hi guys, former WWE superstar Al Snow here, and first and foremost, I want to thank you for checking out the Broken Icon project. I can't tell you how honored and excited I am to have my very own comic book out there, and I hope that you will support it, and I hope you will share this project and let everyone know about it. Thank you guys so much for being fans, and I hope you check out this comic book. It's amazing, the artwork, the writers, the colorers, the inkers, everyone. Make sure you check it out, and make sure you let everyone else know. Thank you.
The music gets me hyped.
Yeah, no, that's a great video.
Nick did a good job on the video. Nick Whitland, the guy that colored it, he's the one who put the video together.
Yep.
Oh, nice. What I like about this is if you had no idea who Al Snow was, you would just think this is a kick-ass action comic.
Yep.
You would have no idea there was ties to pro wrestling.
Yep, exactly. And that was the goal. There is the wrestling aspect as the start and the end because it's inside his head. But what we were able to do with this is because he's crazy, as he hears things, he creates the story that he's going into. And that fact that, like I said earlier, you do not have to like wrestling at all to enjoy this. This is just a good, funny buddy cop comedy kind of, story.
It's like if Al was brainstorming and daydreaming at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Darren Wagner's joining us. He's coming for that Sandwich Saturday title, Amanda. Sandwich Saturday is something they do on Leroy's show, The Chat. They award the best sandwich of the day. You should see some of the sandwiches. They're pretty incredible. Hicks Villain, he's a regular on my wrestling show. He wants to know, was that Pepper in the video?
Yeah, so all of the Al Snow gimmicks make an appearance in this. You see Head, you see Pepper, and Pierre.
Nice.
The fake deer head that he used for a while. They're all in the video. We actually, Al is actually was really good friends with Big Boss Man, Ray. So we dressed Pepper up in the book in honor of Big Boss Man. Pepper is dressed like Big Boss Man in the book.
Oh, that's awesome. So before we go through the different tiers, let's go through some of this artwork. This looks like a variant cover, looking like one of the old Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines.
Yep, this was drawn by Rob Duma. It was colored by Nick Wentland. It is a throwback to the old Pro Wrestling Illustrateds from the 80s and 90s.
Nice.
I used to love those books, dude.
They were great.
Into the supermarket.
Oh, yeah.
I would read those while my mom was shopping. Then I would read all the heavy metal magazines, and then I'd read all the video games to do like every nerd magazine out there, dude. I was consuming it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've always said pro wrestling, comic books, and heavy metal go hand in hand. So
They do.
I think we're all reading all the same magazines.
Yep.
So this is the wraparound European cover variant.
Yep, that's for the Kickstarter. That's the Kickstarter exclusive is what it is. It's the European cover. It pays homage to Al's run as the European champion. There's 20 Easter eggs hidden in this book, or in this cover. I apologize. The art is done by Drax Gall out of Mexico. It's colored by Nick Wentland. If you see the random items like the bats and the piñatas and stuff, when Al was European champion, he would come down to the ring dressed up like people from Europe to represent them. So there is 20 different Easter eggs hidden in this cover from his run as the European champion.
That's great. Here's a look at some of the interior artwork by Tommy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is great. I love the colors too.
Yeah, Rob Dumo and Nick Wentland did the colors on it.
The wrestling page is my favorite page. Sorry to talk over you, Eric.
Yeah, no, that wrestling page is beautiful. Yeah, Rob Dumo and Nick Wentland did all the interior colors for this. They crushed it. They did it, knocked it out of the park. It's beautiful, beautiful composition, and I absolutely love the way it pops. And
yeah, great work.
And it feels apocalyptic. That was a big thing. Was we wanted to give it a bright base, but then saturate it to the point where it looked like the apocalypse. So I absolutely love the work. Speaking
of heavy metal and comics, the bad guy there, he left the design up to me, and I was like, I was like, maybe Mr. Incredible meets Rob Halford.
I definitely see it.
Yeah,
so good.
All right, let's go through some of these tiers. Just a pledge without a reward, $10 because you believe in the project. $5 digital PDF of the book. $10 is the standard cover.
Mm-hmm.
And it says here you're looking to deliver this in June. So
yep,
yeah,
we're done and we are ready to go.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's always great when the book's either done or mostly done while the campaign is going.
Well, this is our first ever crowdfunding campaign, and the thing that we wanted to do from backing so many is we wanted to make sure the book was ready so people didn't have to wait. So if it's ready to go, we can just go to print immediately and within weeks start filling orders.
Yeah, the pirate book, whenever we get around to it, I'm doing stuff with you and John right now, but bouncing back and forth between, we're going to make sure the rest are the pirate books all the way done too.
Yeah, Desecrated Sales will be finished before we drop that beautiful thing.
Yeah, whenever people ask me for advice on crowdfunders and they're just starting out, I always tell them get as much as the project done before they launch the crowdfunder.
Yep.
That's why I sent that original message to John back in 2018. Because I was like, I know how these crowdfunding things go, and I'm like, I'm invested in you guys, like behind the scenes. I'm like, I want this to succeed, but obviously John's a pro, and he had it all under control. So
Yeah, things went a little off the rails this time around, just with having us needing to replace an artist. But luckily, we had you and Matt Dalton pick up the slack. So yeah, we got we got the train back on the tracks.
Like I said, I'm ready to work.
Yeah. Next up, $20. That's the Kickstarter exclusive European variant. That's really nice. I think that might be the one that I get.
And it comes pre-signed. So the standard and the retro do not come signed by Al. You can buy an autograph for them. The Kickstarter exclusive for the 20, you get the book, you get it signed and everything right off the bat. So it's a really good deal if you're looking to get something signed. The Kickstarter exclusive is a really good deal.
Nice. $50 sketch cover variant. So Tom, I assume Tommy's doing the sketch covers?
Tommy's doing bust shots, and it's signed by Tommy and Al, obviously.
Wow, that's great. Great deal too. $50 for original sketch by Tommy.
Yep.
That's a steal.
The steal is to come. I still think the last one is the steal when we get to it.
All right, $60. The Stable with Al Snow. What can you tell me about this one?
So the Stable, you get all covers. You get the standard one that Tommy did. You get the retro throwback magazine one that Rob did, and you get the European exclusive. And all three of them come signed by Al, creative team, obviously, as well. They all come signed. So you get the works with autographs.
So that's the only way to get the other two covers signed by Al Snow, correct?
No, if you want, if you just want to get the standard, we have an add-on for Al's signature that you can just add it on to get it signed. But this is if you add up like buying all the books individually and all the signatures individually, this is marketably cheaper. It's a good wholesale deal to get everything at once.
Yeah.
So
sounds good. All right. Pledge $125. The Completionist.
So that includes all three covers as well. You also get a sketch cover that Tommy will do a sketch on. And we have these beautiful comic size metal prints of the retro cover that comes signed by Al as well. They're all in here. Basically, you're getting every single book, every single print. You get them all inside that package.
Nice. $200 book and page combo.
This is the steal of the absolute Kickstarter. If anyone is looking for the deal, it's this one. We have 10 pages, original artwork, 11 by 17s by Tommy. It's in this package. It's the only place to get the originals because outside of these, Al has originals. I have originals. You know, the letterer and the colorist, they'll all have originals. So there's 10 originals. So you get every single cover. You get the standard, the retro, the Kickstarter, and you get the metal print, all signed by Al. And you get an 11 by 17 original page from the book that Tommy drew. So that's the steal for me. Because $200 for a Tommy original, I can tell you I've paid more than that for a Tommy original. So, and you get everything included in it. It's a beautiful package. Thank you, Tommy, for making sure we had pages to put in there. But there's 10 of them. I think 5 of them are gone. So there's only 5 of them left. So there's 5 original pages from this book that you can get. And those are it. Those are the only originals that'll see the market.
Yeah, no, that's a great deal. So any Graveyard Shift fans out there, if you want to get some artwork by Graveyard Shift artist Tommy Patterson, this is a steal, man.
Yep, it is. And especially with Tommy's schedule, with him doing books, like I know Tommy's not doing much of anything for commissions because he doesn't have time. So this is the way to get them, is right here.
So I know you guys are already funded, but you have started unlocking stretch goals. First stretch goal unlocked was the head sticker.
Yep. So that features the head, the Fear Me head, which was a head that Al debuted. It only seen television one time, June 4th of 99, when he had a hardcore title against the Road Dogg. You get a 3-inch sticker of the Fear Me, Help Me heads. That's unlocked for everybody. As soon as we backed, that was unlocked for every backer, for every physical backer.
Did you ever hear the controversy about Al Snow's action figure?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We got stuff in the works with Al Snow's action figure.
Nice.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, people complained and said that it came with a decapitated woman's head.
They actually got it banned from Walmart. That figure was banned from Walmart.
That's some early on cancel culture
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Way back. Yeah, they were just getting warmed up back then. Who knew?
Yeah.
The space print has been unlocked.
Yep, that is done by Ed Yancey, Iggy Crypt on Instagram. That is they're mini prints. They're a high gloss mini print. That one is of Al as a spaceman. Since the Ballad of Al Snow and Head can be anything you want, our mini prints are a lot of the artists kind of doing whatever they want.
Nice. Tommy Patterson print.
Yes, Tommy, we used an unused cover. It's also a mini print. The artwork I got yesterday, so we just haven't uploaded it yet, but it is done, and we're going to get it uploaded to where everybody can see it. But
don't tell John or Mark that I fit that in, please.
You just told them.
Well, I think you're safe, Tommy. I don't think John watches my channel, so I won't tell him.
Okay. Good.
The metal bookmark is unlocked.
Yep. So that is printed on it's a standard bookmark. It's printed on white aluminum. It's a really cool. It goes for anybody who bought a physical copy of the book as well.
The pepper decal.
Yep. So once we hit 100 backers, this isn't a dollar amount one. This is just a backer one. When we hit 100 backers, everyone will also receive, I think it's a 3-inch pepper dressed as Big Boss Man window decal.
Nice. Yeah, we got to unlock that one, guys.
Yeah. it's pretty cool. I'm really hoping.
So that's all the stretch goals.
That's all the stretch goals at this point. Yep.
Nice.
We've got some more stuff planned if we keep going. So let's get it up there, guys. Let's keep going.
So there's 4 days to go. You're at 88 backers, so only 12 backers to unlock the pepper sticker. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you guys are going to do it.
I think so.
You've more than exceeded your goal, so you guys are doing great.
I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
So, for you, Eric, what's been your favorite part of doing this project?
I still tell my friends all the time, my wife included, when I'm sitting here and I get a text message from Al Snow, the 12, 13-year-old kid in me still screams. Pepper hated Big Boss Man. Hated Big Boss Man.
He screams like a girl, by the way.
Yes, he does. I still get giddy every time I get a text message from Al Snow. Every time Al calls me, I still get giddy. That's been my favorite part because as I've kind of become friends with him and his wife Jessica, who I absolutely love both of them. It's been really awesome to know that comics has been able to give me an opportunity like that. That's my absolute favorite thing from this whole project is I get to hang out with one of my favorite wrestlers of all time and, make a comic book about them. And I think that's absolutely fantastic.
What about you, Tommy?
Like I said, the whole thing with me is just getting a draw again. I really like that.
Yeah.
Al's been easy to work with. Can't complain there. And honestly, it's been fun for a licensed. Like I've done a few licensed book, and this is by far the funnest.
Yeah.
I was able to, do comic book shit in it, basically.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing is because, like, I know I haven't felt cornered or caged in at all. Mm-hmm. I've came up with some radical stuff, and like I honestly feel like I can go to him and tell him the radical stuff. We're already working on the next book. It's pretty much written, and I went off the wall in this one, and he was just like laughing about it on the phone when we were talking about it. So he's been so easy, and this has been a fear of mine is getting into licensed product, because I haven't worked on it myself, but I've orchestrated a lot of variant covers for different places and dealing with Nickelodeon and Army of Darkness and all these licensed properties. It's not fun sometimes. So this has been a pleasant surprise how easy it's been.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So this book, you said it's all done. Once the campaign's done, most likely go straight to print.
Yep. I'm ready to go to print. As soon as it ends, I'm ready to go to print. I'm ready to get this thing out. I'm really excited to see what people think. This has been a joy to work on, and I absolutely love the story. It's so fun. It's so off the wall, and I think that we had a review done by Reading with a Flight Ring, and they said that this was the kind of book that we needed coming out of a pandemic. It's just a book that you can sit down and have fun with, and that was the goal the whole time, was to just have as much fun as we possibly could.
Yeah, we definitely need more fun comics. So the sequel's in the works. Tommy, you're working on more Graveyard Shift, but you guys also have this pirate book in the works. When do you think you will launch that?
Don't know. Like I said, to make sure it's done. Yeah. And honestly, after working with John on Graveyard Shift, he's definitely pushed me to draw better, and I think I can still do even better than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I finish the pirate pages, whatever I have left of it, I'm actually going to go back, starting with page 1, and I'm going to spend like 5 pages a day, and I'm going to put extra work into those and maybe even redraw a few panels, stuff like that. So after that's all done, then we'll launch. It's going to be 100 pages. I mean, it's going to be a badass book. I mean, it's super cool.
Yeah, I would probably guess late this year, early next year. Late this year at the earliest, because we're going to give Tommy time, and then Nick's going to go through, and Nick is just going to absolutely just blow this thing up. I think that Nick and Tommy have worked together on a bunch of different stuff, books and covers and stuff. And I think Nick Wentland and Tommy Patterson are so good together. So I'm really excited to see what the two of them come up with when they throw this project into the.
Can I grab a couple pages, show real quick? Do you mind?
I don't.
Want to keep it a super secret.
I don't mind.
All right. Give me 1 second.
As Tommy walks away.
Hicks Villain, he wants to know if the pirate book is a Paul Burchill comic book. Are you familiar with Paul Burchill?
I am.
So we're getting an exclusive right here.
This is actually the first look that anyone's ever got of any of this.
Oh man, this looks fantastic, Tommy.
So the idea for Desecrated Sails is Kaz is the leader of a group of angels that are cast out of heaven. And they're cast out of heaven because they refuse to fight in the war between heaven and hell anymore. And Lilith has left hell and has decided to just basically roam the high seas of the Caribbean with pirates. And these fallen are approached by Michael and Lucifer to deal with Lilith so that they can maintain a balance on Earth. I love that armor.
Looks killer.
And one more. Get that ornery looking so-and-so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a cool swashbuckling book with angels and demons and the Nephilim make an appearance, and it's a really, really crazy book.
My style fluctuates a little bit depending on the project. I can go, a little more toward the semi-realism of a Jim Lee or whatever, or I can go the Greg Capullo, a little cartoony. And I'd say the pirate book's definitely in the cartoony realm, but that allows for some like really, really cool effects and monsters and stuff like that.
We got Mr. Von Stugel joining us. What's up, Mr. Von Stugel? Before we start wrapping this up, is there anything you would like people to know that we haven't covered about the Ballad of Al Snow and Head? Just to reiterate that you don't have to be a wrestling fan if you're hesitant because you're not a wrestling fan, or you're just unsure because you're not a wrestling fan. You do not have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy this book. A lot of love, a lot of time was put into it, a lot of care was put into it, and we think that no matter if you're a wrestling fan or if you just like good comics, you're going to laugh and you're going to enjoy it, and that was the whole point. Check the Kickstarter out. We'd love to hit the last stretch goal that we have announced. We will announce more when we hit that one. And if you want some original pages, there's 5 left. It's the only way to get, Tommy originals that I know of right now is to go, unless you're, he's working on a book for you. It's the easiest and the only way right now that I know of. So go get a sketch cover, grab yourself an original page. It's a great deal for
probably the last original art I'll ever release.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
There you go.
Those
Well,
are lies.
If you're an art collector out there, $200 is a steal. Plus, you get all the comics.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great deal. Tommy, anything else you'd like people to know?
Yeah, I'd like to say that to reiterate what Eric's saying is we don't string you along with the book. It's very self-contained. It's bam, 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 bam. It's like a nice Saturday morning cartoon adventure.
Yeah, it's basically Al to give a little bit more about it, Al's a detective in the apocalypse, and you literally are following him solve a crime. But the tagline for the book is Al's the hero that nobody asked for and that they can't get rid of. So it's funny to see how his mind works too, because you watch it unfold one way, and then when he explains what happened, you blatantly are reading it, and you're like, this is not how any of this happened. So it's beautiful to see that in the interaction with Head. It was a challenge to try to write a book where you have two lead characters, but only one of them speaks. So you had to make it, entertaining. And that was something that Al, was very keen on making sure, hey, is this what I would say? So it's just a super fun book. You jump right in. There's no slow build up to it. We start you right off. You get started right off in the book, and then we're off to racing.
After you read the book, you're going to spend hours on YouTube going down an Al Snow rabbit hole.
You are
guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. So Hicks Villain said he backed because what does everybody want?
Everybody wants Head, and that annoys Al so much that everybody wants Head.
So if Hicks Villain just backed, let's see if we can update it. Maybe he already did. Yeah.
Thanks, Hicks Villain.
Yeah, no, this project looks really fun. I feel like we need more fun comics these days.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Eric, where can people find you on social media?
So you can find us at Broken Icon Comics on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, Broken Icon Comics. It's the easiest place to send us hate mail if you want to. We also have a website, brokeniconcomics.com. It's got books, it's got creators, it's got event schedule, it's got everything on
there. Tommy?
I deleted all my social media. I went to the doctor. I had a health scare, and I went to the doctor, and they said, your head almost exploded.
Oh, geez.
So I deleted Twitter. I'm a red-blooded American, and I couldn't take it anymore. So it's been good getting rid of it. I feel much, much better, a lot happier. I tell you what, though, nobody believes me because I keep talking and not doing, but I will have a YouTube channel very soon. And, I've been like floating back and forth the idea on what to do and to keep it kind of consistent. And I want to do a book that's fully painted down the road. And I can paint, but I can't really paint. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to use this channel as like a daily paint sketch diary and spend like an hour a day learning how to paint. And people can learn with me. Instead of me teaching them, it's almost like the idea in my head is I'm going to teach them how to teach themselves, because they're going to see how I'm teaching myself how to paint. I got enough painting skills that it won't be totally directionless. But yeah, that's the plan. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I think that YouTube's probably the most powerful social media tool right now for promoting comic books. This is how we promote all the Graveyard Shift books, all my other properties. We just saw we got Hicks Villain to back, so yeah,
appreciate.
Love that. Yeah. Love that guy, Hicks Villain.
Yeah,
love him.
It's my favorite right now.
Yeah,
favorite.
So before we go, Eric, any thoughts about doing any other wrestling comics besides Al Snow?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I've talked to I actually did a wrestler for a book for an independent wrestler a few years ago. And I kind of enjoyed it, and I was debating on doing it again. I don't know if I'll do much at the big level. I will never say never, because if the opportunities come along, I'll look at the opportunity. But I'm just super enjoying dealing with Al and working with Al on this, that I haven't even thought about if I want to do anything other than Al yet.
All right. Yeah. No. It's great that you're having a good experience with Al, and he's letting you guys do what you do best, and that's create comics.
Yep.
If we do another wrestling book with a different wrestler, at least we have kind of a bar set, and wrestlers talk to other wrestlers, I would say, and maybe Al can just go, look, just turn it over to them, let them handle it, let them do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you watch this, when you watch this out, just tell everybody. Just tell everybody.
There you go. All right. I want to thank everyone in the chat today for joining us. I want to thank you, Eric and Tommy, for coming on my channel. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Remember, it's the last day for Graveyard Shift 3. Go back to the project. Tommy has work in the supplemental book. And make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications for Primetime Poulton. Oh, we got one last person in the chat. Hi, I'm Tom. And he says if the Rangers don't win today, he's going to his local comic shop and giving the guy at the register a hard time. Well, I hope they win, Tom.
Let's go, Pens.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching today, and we'll be back tomorrow for La Pod Gods. Thanks for watching.
So much.